British Prime Minister Theresa May can't trigger Article 50 without approval from Parliament. That was the ruling that came from the UK High Court on Thursday. So what has been the initial response from Leave and Remain supporters? The court ruling has reopened still fresh wounds nearly 5 months after Britain took the momentous decision to leave the European Union. You could say the battle for Brexit has gone to a second round, judging by the emotional heat generated by yesterday's decision. Some of Britain's notoriously fiery tabloid newspapers were full of front-page stories on Friday, castigating the judges deemed to be responsible for the decision, accusing them of betraying the will of the people. Leading pro-Brexit politicians like UKIP's Nigel Farage have also been on the offensive, calling it an attempt by political elites to overturn the referendum result. On the other side, pro-EU campaigners were rejuvenated by the court's decision, scoring their first win since the June vote left them despondent. However, the verdict is extremely unlikely to stop Brexit. The ruling Conservative Party has a majority in Parliament, and Tory lawmakers are expected to vote in favour of any measure Theresa May puts in front of them. It does, however, set up a fight over what Brexit actually means. Leavers and Remainers across the political spectrum are agreed on one thing: Britain has decided to leave the European Union, but there's still a lot of debate over how that actually takes place. On that score, the ruling is a boost for the pro-EU side, who can use it to extract some concessions from the government over things like free movement of people or maintaining close ties with European institutions in exchange for supporting legislation that gets put to Parliament. So, what options are there for the government now? The government could try and dissolve Parliament and call a quick election. This would be difficult because of new rules that complicate the process. But in such a scenario, Mrs May would go to the country and say, "If you back Brexit, vote for me, and I'll make it happen." She has said she has no plans to do so, though opinion polls show she would win comfortably and increase her party's majority in the House of Commons. The other option would be to draft a quick law and try to pass it through Parliament. If it goes to a vote in Parliament, Mrs May should win without difficulty. She has a reduced majority as of Friday, with an advantage of only 14 MPs after Stephen Phillips, a Tory, stepped down. Mr Phillips said he no longer has faith in the government to implement Brexit. Despite this, there are enough Labour MPs in favour of Brexit that Mrs May would win the necessary number of votes. Markets responded to Thursday's news in two ways. The pound rose in expectation that lawmakers will be able to push Mrs May towards a less decisive exit from the European Union. In parallel, stocks fell, which analysts said was due to the fact most FTSE firms have enjoyed a boost from a cheaper pound.